So, check this out, people. I am back in the Bronx from the Philippines. I've been away for 2 years. When I first left, I remember a slice of pizza was like $2. Just before I left, eggs had went up from $1.79 to about some $8, which was shocking, right? And so living abroad in Southeast Asia and traveling to Thailand and living in the Philippines was a lot better for me, a lot easier, right? Because the cost of living is a lot better there when you have the American dollar. Of course, if you're Filipino, then it's not so good. But if you have the American dollar, then it's amazing. It's great. It's an awesome place to live. Because right now I was living in a 3-story house with 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, and I was only paying some $220 a month. Actually, less than that, right? And so now I'm back in the Bronx, and the the very first thing I did when I got here was rest, and just sleep and relax because I'm adjusting to the 12-hour difference, right? Because it's a 12-hour difference between the US and the Philippines. And so I'm just sleeping, right? And so after some 3 days of relaxing and resting, I decided to go out and spend some money, right? Just buy some pizza, a ham and cheese sandwich, which I haven't had in 2 years since I left. And so I go to the deli, I go to the supermarket, I buy a ham and cheese sandwich, I buy some Listerine. As you can see, I don't know if you can tell, I have a rash and I'm dealing with some issues because of, I don't know if it's just the air quality change. The air quality here in the US, of course, is so much better than the Philippines, but lately, since I've been back, I've been dealing with a rash. I'm having some issues with my lips, whatever. But anyway, I also have some tissue in my mouth because of my braces. The inside of my mouth is getting all cut up. And so if my lips look a little swollen or my face looks a little funny, it's because of that. But, so I go to buy some Listerine, a ham and cheese sandwich. I get an Arizona iced tea, right? Like a, I don't know, 16, 20 ounce bottle. I get some toilet paper and a pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. And I'm at the counter, right? And I'm thinking I'm gonna pay maybe, I don't know, $12. Bro, this is ridiculous. It came out to $30 freaking dollars. $30. And I didn't even have breakfast or dinner yet, right? Just think about it. $30 just for one person to eat, to wipe his behind, to rinse his mouth, and have a snack or a dessert later on. $30. Just imagine if you have a family, how much it'll cost you. On top of the $30 that I pay for ice cream, ham and cheese sandwich, toilet paper, Listerine, and a freaking Arizona iced tea. And I was craving pizza because I haven't had any New York pizza. I end up paying $4 for a slice of pizza. It's crazy. So this is what I've come back to. And while I'm making this video, I have all of these freaking scam calls constantly coming in and out of my phone. And so if you notice that the volume on this video goes down, that happens each time I get an incoming call from one of these freaking annoying. My advice to anyone who is living abroad and who moved to Southeast Asia, whether Philippines, whether Vietnam or Thailand, you are not missing anything here back home. If you are on a fixed income coming back home, unless you plan to work like I do, there is no reason for you to come back. Unless it's an emergency, whether medical, whether you want to visit family. Other than these things, I don't recommend you come back home, because if you're retired and you don't want to work, you're not going to be able to stay retired in America. You're going to have to work. And that's why I'm here. Now, if I wasn't here to work, I couldn't stay here because I don't want to struggle. I don't want to worry about constantly paying bills and constantly paying some $30. Just think about this, people. The $30 I paid was just to eat lunch. That's it. I didn't have breakfast, and that doesn't include dinner. Just think about that. That's almost $100 a day just to eat. Now, if I eliminate the Listerine, which I already, that'll last me maybe a couple of weeks. If I eliminate the toilet paper, which I can't because you need toilet paper, right? You gotta wipe your behind. These are all necessities. These are all things that you have to buy regularly. Just imagine every week how much money you're gonna spend on just food and everyday necessities. And that's just for one person. And so if you're living abroad and you don't have to return to the US, don't, because you're not going to be able to survive. Back in the Philippines, again, a 3-bedroom house, 3 stories with 3 bathrooms, $220 a month, not even. With the $30 that I paid for this meal and for these items that I need for the week, I can live for a whole week in the Philippines with $30. Hell, I can probably eat for 7 days with $30. I guarantee that I can. Normally, $20 I can eat for about 5 days. So with 30, I'm sure I can stretch that to 7, 8 days easily. And so if you're an expat living abroad in a country like the Philippines, where you can live off of $700 a month, because if you can't live off $700 a month in the Philippines, there's a problem. There's a serious problem. Because I've watched videos of people who say, oh, you can't live in the Philippines with less than $2,000 a month. What the freak are you doing if you can't live in the Philippines with $2,000 a month? People live in America with $2,000 a month. And America is 4 or 5 times more expensive than the Philippines. And if you can't live in the Philippines with $2,000 or more, or less rather, then you're doing something wrong. You're either an alcoholic, you're picking up prostitutes, and you're misspending your money. Because if I live in a 3-story house with 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, and my rent is only $200, give or take, between $200 and $220 a month, because it depends on the value of the American dollar, that leaves me with the rest of my monthly pension to live, because the most important thing is paying your rent. So if I pay my rent, then I pay my electric bill and my water bill. My water bill is about $5 a month. My electric bill is about $40 a month. So $220, right, plus 40, that's $260. Out and some less than $10 for the water, right? So you got $220, $260, $270 a month. That's less than $300 a month to live, to pay your bills. And you're telling me that with $400, $100 a week, you can't live off of $100 a week up until you get your next paycheck in a month? Why do you need to spend over $100 a week on food? For what? You're not going to spend $100 a week on food in the Philippines, unless you're supporting a family of 6 or 7. So that doesn't even make sense, because even a family of 6 or 7, you could support on $100 a week. So you can definitely live off of $700 or $800 a month in the Philippines easily. And so my advice to anyone who is living abroad in Southeast Asia, don't come back home. Don't do it, man. You're just gonna struggle. I'm back here again. If I wasn't back to work, then there'd be no reason for me to be here. I'm looking forward to going back, but I have been looking forward to working. I've missed it. I've always been an independent contractor. I've been working for myself since I retired. And so I want to make some extra money so that I can go ahead and bring it back home to the Philippines, where the American dollar is worth something. Because here in America, a dollar does not get you a bag of chips. But in the Philippines, $1 gets you at least 4 bags of chips. So thank you for watching, people. Have a good day and have a good night. This is what I paid $30 for, bro. $30. A ham and cheese sandwich. Not counting the cookies. The cookies that are there are not part of this bill, right? A ham and cheese sandwich, a pint of ice cream, toilet tissue, a few ounces of iced tea, Arizona, and a Listerine. $30. In the Philippines, this probably would have cost me $7. This is ridiculous, bro. I don't understand how people are surviving here in the US anymore. $30 for a sandwich, a pint of ice cream, toilet tissue that used to cost 50 cents at one time. This used to cost $1. This would cost about $2.50. This sandwich would be about $5 back in the day. Bro, I've only been gone for 2 years. It's ridiculous.